"You won't believe what happened on this date." She looked him in the eye and whispered, "This was a mistake." But what he said next didn't just change her mind, it made her cry. This isn't a story about heartbreak, it's about the moment love stopped running away. The rain poured that night, smearing the lights of Chicago into streaks of gold and gray. Inside a quiet apartment, Lena stood at the kitchen counter, trembling. Her voice cracked as she said, "You don't want me here." She had rehearsed those words 100 times, but saying them out loud felt like cutting through her own heart. Across the room, Daniel froze. His chest rose sharply. This wasn't just another fight. This was the moment that decides whether two people rebuild or walk away. Lena had always carried silence in her eyes. To strangers, she seemed calm, composed, even strong. But Daniel knew that stillness came from years of being unseen. She grew up in a home where love was earned, not given, where a mistake was remembered forever and affection was rationed like air. When they married, she believed love would erase those scars. But marriage isn't a clean slate. It's a mirror. And lately, that mirror had been cruel. Daniel had been working long hours, returning home exhausted and distracted. Lena waited for untouched dinners and unread notes, each one ending with, "I love you." But love unacknowledged begins to fade. So when she whispered, "You don't want me here," she wasn't accusing him. She was surrendering to the fear that she was never enough for anyone to stay. Daniel stepped closer. The air was heavy, his voice trembling. "You're wrong," he said. "I don't just want you here. I need you here. You're not my burden, Lena. You're my reason to try." For the first time in years, her tears weren't from despair, but from hope. Maybe, just maybe, she was loved after all. The weeks followed weren't perfect. They were real. Late-night talks, awkward silences, small, shaky laughter. Daniel started leaving notes on the fridge that said things like, "Your smile makes this house a home." Slowly, Lena began to write back. Love returned, not in grand gestures, but in everyday grace. One Saturday, Daniel said, "Let's drive to Indiana, back to where she grew up." She resisted, afraid of the ghosts, but he smiled and said, "Sometimes we have to walk into the darkness to see how far we've come." Outside her old house, Lena broke down. She told him everything, how she had learned to fear love, to brace for goodbye. Daniel didn't speak. He just held her. And in that silence, something inside her finally exhaled. Months later, on their balcony, the sunset painted the city in gold. Lena rested her head on his shoulder and whispered, "Thank you for fighting for me when I had nothing left." Daniel smiled, kissed her forehead, and said, "You'll never have to wonder if I want you here, because you are my here. You are my home." And for the first time, Lena didn't just hear love, she believed it. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments. Type "Love is enough" if you believe love can heal even the deepest wounds. And remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay when someone believes they're not worth staying for. Because when love speaks louder than fear, it doesn't just mend relationships, it saves souls.